Hello and welcome to your yoga mat. Let's get started today in a child's pose. Traditional child's pose, big toes touch, knees open wide, and the arms stretch forehead. If you can bring the forehead to the earth, or maybe a block or the fists, just allow the forehead to come in contact with something so you can really root into the earth and just let go. Maybe a little bit of motion side to side. And then settle into stillness and take a deep breath in, filling up the rib cage and sending that breath all the way into the belly. And then press that air back out through the nose. Make an audible sound with each inhale and each exhale. And then rise up just a little bit and tuck the toes under this time. Push the hips back, straighten the arms so the elbows are actually lifted off of the earth. Feel the length in the back. Then go ahead and reach the right arm up to the sky. And thread that hand all the way through, bringing the right shoulder down to the earth. That tuck of the toes gives you a little bit more space for threading the needle, and it also elongates the spine and stretches out the bottom of the feet. Unthread, reach that right arm back up high to the sky, a little bit of a twist there, and then release that hand to the earth. Left arm reaches high. And thread that hand all the way through, bringing that left shoulder down, temple to the earth, and push the hips back. Breathe deeply all the way into the belly. Unthread, reaching that left arm up to the sky, releasing it down, and rising to a tabletop. Untuck those toes, pointing the toes back. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift chin, chest, tailbone to the sky. Cow pose. Feel the stretch in the belly. Exhale, round the back to come into cat pose. Inhale, return to cow. Exhale, round for cat. One more time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale to round into cat pose. Return to a neutral spine. Step that right foot back. And then step the left foot back, high plank. Draw the belly in, spread the shoulder blades across the back. Breathe a little bit deeper. Send the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. Press forward into the fingertips and the knuckles. Send the gaze right between the feet. And then bend the knees and feel how that elongates the spine. See if you can keep that nice long spine as you begin to push the hamstrings towards straight. Triceps dial down toward the earth. And walk the feet to the hands. Feet are hip distance apart here. Hinge forward, palms on the earth. And then bring the left hand towards center and reach the right arm high to the sky. A little bit of a bend in that left knee. Change sides, right hand towards center, left arm to the sky. Bending that right knee slightly. Releasing that hand to the earth. Toe heel the feet together. Come to a halfway lift. Hands come to the shins. Crown of the head reaches forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, rise tall. Tadasana, reach for the sky. Draw the rib cage in. And hands come to heart center. Samastitihi. Closing the eyes. Feel the earth below the feet. Lift the knees and the thighs. Draw the belly in. And soften the shoulders. Take a cycle of breath in gratitude. And a cycle of breath in forgiveness of yourself or of another. And a cycle of breath to set an intention for today's practice. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, low lunge. Lift the chest slightly, push forward a little bit. And then draw the hips back towards center. Airplane the arms. Push down into that right heel. Draw the right hip in. On an inhale, lift the arms to the sky, Crescent Lunge. See if you can even out your weight distribution in that front foot between the left and the right side. So you might be putting more weight in the outer edge, then draw it toward the arch side of the foot, or vice versa. Take a deep breath in, reach a little bit taller. Exhale, high twist to the right. Pushing down into that right heel. Inhale, return to Crescent Lunge. Find your steady here. Set your drishti, your gaze right in front of you. Hands come to the earth for standing splits. As you lift that left leg to the sky, push the right hamstring back. Push into the middle of that right heel and hinge forward. Lift the gaze, step that left foot to the back of the mat, low lunge, plant the hands, send that right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and stack the hips here. Rotate that ankle around and dial down your right shoulder. Straightening the right leg. Step it forward. Spin the back heel down, 45-degree angle with that foot. Rise to warrior one. Spinning the triceps forward here will help to relax the shoulders. Straighten the front leg. Push the knuckles together behind the back and open up the elbows. Perhaps step the back foot in and make sure you have a wide stance. So you may want to toe heel that right foot toward the right edge of the mat a little bit more. Send the gaze up, draw the belly in. Open up the chest. Exhale, hinge forward, coming into a pyramid variation. Really reaching the crown of the head down toward the big toe. And then we'll release the hands. If you have a block, bring that block in front of the big toe. Nice tall block. And push into that block for this pyramid. Lift the back to a tabletop back. Bring that right hand to the hip crease. Left hand stays on the block or the shin. Begin to dial down the left rib cage, turning up the right rib cage, making our way into a revolved triangle. The hand lifts to the sky. Breathe a little bit deeper. Release that top hand to the earth. Step forward, halfway lift, hands to the shins, crown of the head reaches forward, and hinge into a forward fold. Inhale to rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, take a little back bend here. Goal post the arms, gaze up. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale to step the right foot back, low lunge. Hands to the earth, and then push the hips forward, gaze up, lift the chest, upward dog chest. Draw the hips back towards center. Go ahead, push into that left heel, draw that hip in, airplane the arms. On an inhale, rise to Crescent Lunge. Let the lower body surrender. Back thigh lifts toward the sky. Inhale, a little bit taller. Exhale, twisting to the left. Nice wide open twist. Squeeze the inner thighs. And return to Crescent Lunge on the inhale. Find your steady. Soften the shoulders. Hands come to the earth, standing splits as the right leg lifts to the sky. Push that left hamstring back and draw that thigh toward your median line. You can dial down that right pinky toe. Lift the gaze, step the right foot to the back of the mat, low lunge, plant the hands, send the left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stacking hips here. Dial down the left shoulder, and then rotate that ankle. Straightening the leg, exhale to step it forward. Spin the back heel down, rise to warrior one. Just like in Crescent Lunge, we push into that left heel and then really push into the knife edge of that right foot. Feel that stretch in the calf muscle. Straightening the front leg, maybe stepping the back foot in, toe heeling that left foot toward the outer edge of the mat. Draw the knuckles together behind the back, send the gaze up. And then begin to hinge forward on an exhale. Notice with that wider stance, you have a little bit better balance to just focus on the stretch of the hamstring here. You can release those hands to a block in front of you. And really try to elongate the low back as you reach the crown of the head forward. Lift the torso to tabletop. Tall block with the right hand. Draw the left hand toward the hip. And then begin to spin the right rib cage down as the left rib cage lifts. Finish off the pose by reaching the left hand to the sky. Notice where you can soften any tension here. Maybe your toes are gripping or the hand is gripping. And try to release. Lower that hand to the earth and step forward. Halfway lift. And fold. Inhale to rise tall, mountain pose, Tadasana. And then we'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Push the knuckles back. And as you're pushing those knuckles back, we'll draw the left hand over to the right hip bone and squeeze that right elbow behind you. On an inhale, lengthen out the neck. Exhale, begin to release the right ear toward the right shoulder. Draw the head back to center. Knuckles push back, opening up the collarbones. And then we'll take the other side. Draw the right hand over toward the left hip. Squeeze that left elbow behind you. Inhale, lengthening out the neck. Exhale, releasing the left ear toward shoulder. Now notice if you're suddenly arching your back and sticking your belly out, draw that core back in. Draw the rib cage in. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. Return to center, knuckles push down toward the earth. And then releasing the arms to your sides. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lifting. On the exhale, step the left foot toward the back of the mat. Both hands come inside that front foot. Toe heel the right foot forward. Runner's lunge. Left knee comes down to the earth. Making sure that your right foot is in front of the knee. Stay at tall arms. Come down onto a block. Or maybe all the way onto your forearms. Rising to tall arms. Lift the back knee, send the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw that knee to the right tricep. Inhale, send it high to the sky. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale, send it high. Exhale to step it forward, warrior two. Arms reach front to back, pushing down into that front heel. Might have a little bit of an angle with that back foot, toes pointing in. See if you can center your shoulders over the hips. On an exhale, come to extended side angle. Right forearm to the thigh. Left fingertips reaching forward as though that bicep is going to touch the ear. Still pushing down into that right heel. It can be easy to shift your weight into the toes or the ball of the feet here. But keep that nice deep lunge. Returning to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Right arm reaches to the sky. Find some length in the right side body. And then begin to hinge into triangle pose, Trichonasana. Right arm comes down to the shin or the ankle. Left arm to the sky. Push into the earth with the feet. Avoid sinking into the joints. So we can tend to sink into the right hip here or into the ankles. Instead, take a little micro bend to that knee and push the earth away with the feet. Right arm can reach forward for a little power triangle. It's an option. And return to warrior two. We'll straighten that front leg, turning the toes. We'll come into a prasarita. Hands can come to the hips. And then we'll squeeze the elbows together behind us. Gaze up. And begin to hinge forward. Shifting weight into the balls of the feet. Feeling this stretch in the hamstrings, the low back. Releasing tension from the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. Rising to tall arms, walk the hands to the front of the mat and step the left foot forward. Halfway lift and fold. Bring your block in front of you, a nice tall block. Rise to Tadasana, arms to the sky, and then hands come to heart center. We'll open up the hips here. Sometimes people use this as a standing half pigeon as a balance pose, but we're really using this today to open up the hips. So bring the hands to heart center and cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Open up that knee, press it back. And then begin to bend the left knee, sinking the hips back. Like you're sitting into a chair and it's a little bit too far behind you. Then you'll begin to hinge forward. And I lost my balance there. Bring your hands to the block. So this allows you to really push those hips back. And you can feel how that deepens the stretch. And then bring the hands back to heart center, slowly releasing from the pose, finding Tadasana. Goalpost the arms, take a little mini back bend. Inhale, reach back up tall, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. On the exhale, plant the hands and step that right foot back. We'll release the back knee to the earth, both hands inside the front leg, toe heel that left foot way forward, and we'll come into a runner's lunge on this side. So each side is different. You might need tall arms on this side, or maybe on this side you can come down to the forearms. Deepen your breath. Let each inhale nourish the body. And with each exhale, release and cleanse. Rising to tall arms, tuck the back toes under, send that left leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee comes to the left tricep. Inhale to send it high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, step it forward. Warrior two. Settling in here. Really focus in on rooting into that knife edge of the right foot. Feel that stretch along the side of the leg. Deep breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm to thigh, right fingertips, reach forward, and then spin the heart toward the sky. Check in, are you pushing down into that left heel? And we'll return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Reach the left fingers to the sky. Find that length in the left rib cage. And then begin to hinge into Trichonasana here. Pushing the hips to the back of the mat. Right arm reaches to the sky. Little micro bend in that left knee to avoid sinking into the joints. Left arm can reach forward for power triangle. And return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, turning the toes. We'll come into another prasarita, hands to the hips. Squeeze the elbows together, gaze up. And exhale to hinge forward. This time you might take your hands and reach for the outer edges of the feet, still shifting weight into the balls of the feet. Move your jaw around, shake your head, yes and no. And then come to tall arms. Walk the hands to the front of the mat. Step the right foot forward, halfway lift, and fold. Bring that block in front of you, nice tall block. Rise to the sky, Tadasana. And then hands come to heart center. This time we'll root into that right foot and cross the left ankle over that thigh. Push the left knee open. Bend the right knee, sink into a chair. Remember that chair's a little bit too far back, so you're really pushing the hips back. Begin to hinge forward and bring the hands to that block. Allowing yourself to push into the block in order to push the hips back even more. Hands come to heart center. Begin to make your way out of the pose. Reaching nice and tall, Tadasana. Exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway. On the exhale, plant the hands and step back into a high plank. Draw the belly in and lower all the way to the belly. Arms can come long at your sides, right cheek to the earth. And then chin comes to center. Flip the palms so they're flat on the earth and flex the feet so the toes will point to the outside edges of the mat, heels to the inside. Slight squeeze of the glutes. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And on an inhale, lift the chin and chest. Arms and legs hover. Keep those feet flexed. Inhale, find more length in the front side body. Exhale and lower left cheek to the earth. Chin comes to center. We'll take a half vinyassa. So bring that left arm in front of you, forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Go ahead and lift the chest. Right arm reaches back. Bend that right knee and reach for the ankle or the foot. Push the foot into the hand here and feel that nice stretch in the quadricep. Release that side. And we'll set up the other side. Right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Left arm reaches back. Bend that left knee. Reach for the ankle or the foot. Push the right forearm into the earth as you push that left foot into the hand. And release. Lower to the earth. And we'll take a full vinyassa. Chin is at center. Bend both knees. Reach back with the hands, reaching for the feet, the ankles, the pant legs. You can stay right here, or bringing the big toes together, begin to lift the chin and chest, and the thighs hover over the earth as well. Slowly lower and push back into a rabbit's pose. Child's pose variation. The knees are a little bit closer together. Hands reach for the heels, forehead to the earth. And then we'll make our way to seated. Starting with a cobbler's pose, soles of the feet come together, knees butterfly open, bringing the hands to the feet. On an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to hinge forward. Nice straight back. Keep the spine elongated. Rise back up tall. And then you'll draw that left heel kind of to the outside of the right butt cheek a little bit. Step the right foot into the hands like you're straddling that foot. And then straighten that right leg in front of you. Shift your weight forward a little bit. And then you can take the left hand to the outside of the right foot and reach the right arm behind you. A good twist that also happens to stretch that IT band muscle in the right leg. Releasing this side, we'll set up on the other side so that right heel comes just out next to that left butt cheek. Step the left foot into the hands, straightening the leg, and then shifting your weight forward a little bit. Right hand comes to the outer edge of that left foot. Left arm reaches behind you. And release this side. Both legs come out in front of you, arms by your side. And then reach the arms up to the sky, draw the belly in, slight bend to the knees, and hinge forward. Rising back up, we'll come on to your back. Draw the knees into the chest. Send the left leg long. Right knee is drawn into the chest. I like to use my block during this pose, so you may want to bring that block over to the left side of the mat. And then we'll just take a supine twist. So drawing that right knee over toward the block. The block will come right underneath the shin, maybe the ankle, and the right arm out to a T. Sending that gaze over to the right. Return to center. Draw both knees into the chest. Set up that block on the other side. And then send the right leg long. And draw that left knee and leg over to the right, gazing to the left. And again, work with the block, bring it underneath the leg to a place where you can just allow the leg to sink into it. Returning to center. Give yourself a squeeze. Reach for the soles of the feet. And release into Savasana, final resting pose. And this is where you allow the body to just settle in. Let the heels become heavy. The knees soften. The thighs release. Feel the shoulders sink toward the earth. And release all the tension from the fingertips and the palms. Soften the muscles of the face. And just come back to your natural breath. Perhaps today you use a mantra, inhaling to the words, I am, exhaling, at peace. Begin to awaken the body, deepening the breath and moving the head side to side. Eventually, full body extension, reaching the arms overhead. And then exhale, slight bend to the knees as you roll to your right. Keeping your eyes closed and your attention drawn inward, make your way to Sukhasana, a cross-legged seated position. Hands come to heart center, deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling thumbs to third eye center. Loka samasta Sukhino May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Bowing forward. Namaste.